welcome back to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, That Metro Mania. And today, we have Spider-Punk from the Across the Spider-Verse movie. Somehow, just like normal, I've been getting every figure but the main character of the movie. And I guess Spider-Verse is no different. We have Spider-Punk here with all of his Spider-Punk box glory. There is a lot going on here, but I mean, every time he's on screen, there's just a lot going on anyway. Shocked that Hot Toys took the time to make this guy, because it's hard to translate somebody who's constantly changing colors and changing so much around him. It's a harrowing task to say the least, but I mean, so far it seems like they've done a good job with it. I ordered it, I bought it, so I'd hope they did a good job with it. But here's the box, and like I said, crazy amount of stuff going on here. You can see the Spider-Punk on the bottom there. It is pretty much just anarchy all around the box, and then your normal Spider-Verse portal thing going on here in the back. But we didn't come here for Spider-Punk box. We came here for Spider-Punk. So why don't we get him out right now? So here he is, and the first thing I need to say is, other than the head sculpt, which has a crazy lot of hair there, this guy's pretty tall. He's skinny, he's lanky, he's tall, he's really tall, and there is just a lot going on this figure. There's a lovely usage of fabric on the arms. There's just so much to talk about. It's a little overwhelming if I'm going to be completely honest with you, because there's just a lot to talk about. And it just doesn't end on his outfit. It's all over his accessories. It's all over the place. This guy is just crazy, and that's kind of why we like him. He's just a lot. He's got a lot going for him. And I really like this design compared to the one from the Spider-Man games. I think that one's really tame compared to what this one has managed to achieve. So I'm glad that I skipped that one, because now I have this one, and that's just super cool to see. But what we want to do now is obviously get him off of the spinning turntable of doom here and take a closer look at all of that Spider-Punk goodness going on right here in front of us. So, I mean, this guy pretty much comes with everything a Spider-Man would need to, plus his few extra accessories. So let's start with his guitar here, which is crazy. I mean, just look at everything going on here. See, the strings are up top or not quite on there. And then this guitar is just, there is no empty space. Everything is full of something. The back is pretty clean in all things considered. In comparison, you can see there's some, I don't know, I guess I would call that animation lines there. It looks a little odd with the way it is, but it does look good. Again, the front of this guitar is just, it tells a story. It really, it looks really good. I don't even know how to describe most of these things, but I mean, they look cool, and it really brings him together. The guitar is a vital piece, but obviously you can't play the guitar without the guitar pick, which Hot Toys boldly, oh no. Don't drop it, guys. This is the worst accessory ever. Hot Toys boldly gave this little guitar pick. I would have molded this onto a hand. They have a hand designed to hold it. I would have just molded this guitar pick onto the hand, because you're gonna lose this. And there's only one that I see. So if it's gone, it's gone. And I think that is detrimental, to say the least. You do get your modicum variety of webs, like always. Not too over cumbersome. He's got a shoot web. He's got another shoot web. One with a pointy shoot and one with a rounded shoot. We got long web. You can kind of bend this, get a little crazy with it. And we got a long web, but bent already. Pretty straightforward. We do have the special edition stuff. We've got the box that he leaves for Gwen at the end of the movie. Gwen, who Hot Toys decided not to make a Hot Toys figure of, which feels wrong because I love her outfit in Across the Spider-Verse. And then also it opens up. It is just like a little cardboard box. And inside usually you would see the time thing that they use in the movie, but the one that he built out of the parts that he'd been stealing. Because he's all about anarchy, you know how it is, obviously. And last but not least, we have the Spider-Man sculpt, which is awesome. I love this sculpt. The eyes do not come out, unfortunately, but I mean, you don't really need another set of eyes. It's pretty much just this or nothing. You can see he got some running mascara because he's been crying because, same. I think this looks awesome. The spikes are kind of wobbly, so you're not going to stab yourself with them, but they might, if you're not careful, start bending. So I would argue be careful with that. You don't want these to bend over time. I'm shocked that these aren't more of like a solid material, but I get why they're not. But yeah, this sculpt is awesome. It's got, I guess the lines are way more organized than I thought they would be. There is some like waviness to the lines overall, but it is pretty organized for the most part, and it does just kind of plug into that neck port, which this guy does have rolling eyeballs, which is kind of crazy for an animated figure. But let's move on and actually look at Hobie. I don't know why I can't remember his last name all of a sudden. It's what, Hobie Brown, right? I'm not crazy. This sculpt is really cool. There's just a lot. There's a lot of hair here, and it does just feel like one giant piece. It kind of feels like a rock in your hand, with just how big it is. But it's cool. I mean, Hot Toys has never really done something like that before. And it doesn't need to be too detailed because it is animated, so it definitely helps stand out that little bit more. I'm really back and forth whether I want to put the Spider-Man sculpt on him or if I want to keep this sculpt on him. But if I keep this sculpt on him, he might look weird with the other ones. But if I put the Spider-Man sculpt on, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing out on the detail on this sculpt. I'm going back and forth on it. What do you guys think? That's the silent moment where you guys answer and go, "Oh yes, I know." But yeah, he's got some piercings. You can see he's got a lot. He's got a little dangling one, which definitely feels like it could break off if you're not careful. He's got a couple more on this ear that definitely are not dangling. He does have Spider-Man syndrome, where the Spider-Man suit just kind of absorbs into his neck, and I'd say that's probably the worst part about this guy overall, other than one other issue, which is just a normal Hot Toys issue. But yeah, the sculpt is really cool, but not as cool as the rest of the suit. Starting out, this is all nice fabric, so he can hold a pose for as long as you need him to, man. Which is exactly what you'd want with something like this. Somebody with crazy moves and somebody who you want to put in crazy poses. For the most part, he's going to be able to hold them no problem. I think the one limiting factor would probably be the legs, unfortunately. But this upper body, you will be able to have whatever you need out of him. So he does have some webbing, but it doesn't continue throughout the body. It gets more sporadic as we go on. The webbing looks nice underneath the shirt, but the shirt is torn to shreds, which then obviously exposes the webbing. But it looks really nice. I love the color contrast here. I think it does a really good job, especially with the black jacket kind of breaking up the middle. I think this is a really good design. It doesn't have too much of one thing or too much of another thing. It breaks itself up really nicely, but it still feels chaotic at the same time. You see, we got the collar with spikes. We got the spiked armband. We got a wristband down here. It's all over the back where we have the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Anarchy logo, which looks really cool. It's got like a chalky kind of spray paint effect on it. You got a cat, little kitty, and some more patches on the back. Overall, fantastic. We got some more patches on the front. He is British, so we got a Union little Jack flag thing there. Coming down to the wrists here, we have we got this like sporadic webbing pattern, which definitely looks interesting. It's very non-symmetrical in the slightest. It does continue onto the hands. If I can get this a little lower. See, it continues onto the hands, but it is just like crazy whatever. They just put it wherever, but it doesn't look bad. It breaks up the color of the red really nicely, so he doesn't have like a Scarlet Spider thing where he's just wearing like blue and red, but it's all like solid colors. It's nice. He's got some suspenders which are just dangling and hangling there. I didn't notice that in the movie actually, so that's a detail that's nice to see. We've got a couple belts going on here, more spiky stuff, and then we got the pants, which are a more restrictive material. I don't think you'll have to worry about it like creasing over time, but I don't know, it's got like the same feeling as like the bottom of like a $20 pool you'd buy at like the store, so it feels odd. I'm not the most confident in it over time. I wish this was also more fabric-y. It's not even like the material that I think it would be if it were the right material. It kind of looks like khakis or like I don't really know what kind of material this would be, but whatever it is, it's not the right material. This way they could just print onto it, and you can see there's a lot of printing onto it, which is a shame because it does lose a little bit in the bottom half with just the lack of the ability to articulate overall. But it's not something that I'm so worried about that I'm gonna freak out and lose my mind over, so it's a compromise. The worst part about this, however, the worst part about this whole thing are these boots, because they are extremely long and they give you the illusion of articulation because they're like kind of loose where you can move it, but they don't really hold the pose that you want to. So you have these really long boots that don't really articulate at the feet, so like you're stuck kind of having it like this for the most part, and it's a real shame because it definitely limits some of that Spider-Man potential, because Spider-Man pretty good at articulating most everything on his body, and then to have these big boots which do look good but then have like this really limited articulation in them, it kind of stinks. Don't like that. But other than that, I mean, can I really complain when it's an overall really nice figure? Yes, I can. I have the right to complain. I think that's like the First Amendment, right? The right to complain. But I'm happy for the most part, and I'm going to be more happy in a second here when we pull out the rest of the Spider-Man. So why don't we do that now? I don't know, something about this feels weird to me. It feels wrong. Miles and Gwen are extremely small compared to these two. I don't remember him being this big. I know Miles is a lot bigger in the second movie. He gets a lot taller, but I really don't remember him being as big as 2099, because 2099 is huge. He is obviously the peak man, so it's really weird to see Gwen be almost like a Spider-Punk head shorter, a little bit more actually. Miles, obviously, you know, he's short, he'll be bigger with the next figure, but Gwen doesn't have a second figure, so I don't know if it would even be the same height. But I don't know, it just feels weird. It felt okay with Miles and Gwen in 2099, but seeing him here feels really odd. I don't know, something just feels off about it. Am I the only one? Am I the only one in the room that feels that way? I can't be the only one who feels weird about this, right? This is like some like Chris Hansen stuff right here, man. I don't know. What are you doing here? Anyway, enough about that. Let's articulate this guy. So, lovely enough, we have a life-ending 360 degrees with some hair resistance, but overall still works. Arm goes up that far, no problem. Arm goes up that far, no problem. Arm goes back that far, no problem. And look at that, nice elbow bend. You get some good crunch action here. Some really good crunch action here. The head's really heavy, so it does flop back and forth. Be aware of that. The spread is a lot better than I thought it would be. Leg goes up about that far. Leg goes back, not really. A little bit. The knee bend, so pretty good. And like I said, there is fake ankle articulation, but it's not going to hold in any pose you need it to. So it's pretty much useless as an articulate, which is an honest shame. But let's swing our way to the end of the video. So here we have Spider-Punk, and man, does he look good with that mask on and in a sweet pose like this. This is the kind of thing that you get somebody like this for, because they rock it crazy style. I'm super happy to finally, have a Spider-Punk in the collection, and I think this is a perfect version to get, because it really takes that Spider-Punk concept and it increases it by 100,000% over the top. It's crazy. It works. I think it looks really good. It doesn't dial back anything, and it does it with such I don't know what I'm trying to say. It does it in such a way where you're like, wow, this looks really good. But it doesn't clash with all the other characters, because it still matches, the overall feel. Because he's still Spider-Man at the end of the day. It doesn't look like it's not Spider-Man. It looks like Spider-Man, but if Spider-Man had a really bad teenage phase and was British, which is the worst part. But I'm super pumped about this guy, and I think a pose like this right here really does it for me. I wish I could keep it on the shelf like this normally, but this flight stand is garbage. I might be able to make this work with a crotch grabber, but it'll be really difficult. And I also don't like the way flight stands hold them. It's mean and it hurts them over time. We all know how it works. We all know why we don't use them. It's just better this way. But I'm pumped. I hope that you've picked this guy up if you're looking for him, because he is a definite worthwhile investment. And I cannot wait to get hopefully more Spider-Verse figures at some point. I would have loved Spider-Man India. That would have been a great one. That is an awesome looking outfit. It really fixes everything wrong about the comic outfit, because it actually makes it look like it's from India and not just like Spider-Man with a little wrap around his waist. But enough about that. If you're picking this guy up, or if you picked up any of the Spider-Verse figures, feel free to let me know which ones you've gotten, which ones you haven't gotten, why you're picking up what you are, why you aren't picking up what you ain't, who is you is or is you ain't a Spider-Man, because I want to know. I want to know what you've gotten, because I've got a lot of Spider-Mans, and he's kind of like my guy. Spider-Man's kind of like my go-to guy when it comes to buying things. So I like to keep up with that. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, because the channel's been doing nicely recently, and I'd love to keep that momentum up, because I'm enjoying the hell out of making videos, and I'd love to continue enjoying the hell making it of videos, as long as you guys are enjoying me making the hell out of these videos. And with all of that out of the way, I've been me, and you've been you, and thank you for watching another 6-scale figure review. Hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.